that, like you drink alcohol or you answer a question or something like that. And my response was very simple. I said, I'm too old to be sitting on TV drinking with a child. That does not look good for me. Rabo, like it doesn't look good for me. Nangim Dala at 32 years of age, sitting with I think she's 19, sitting with like a 19-year-old and drinking alcohol. So for that reason, I'm not going to be able to do your show, Lasizwe. Right? So when he needs me for viewership, he knows how to get a hold of me. When he needs me, he knows how to get a hold of me. But when it's time for him to apologize, own up to his mistakes, and pay me, then he doesn't know me. It's annoying. It is frustrating. And I want my money. We all have families to feed. Guys are going to contact me. And I don't recall you guys contacting me in any capacity. All right? She doesn't respond immediately. She responds the following day. She goes, I am so sorry. Just TV was so new to us. Ngiyaxolisa. Guys, I forwarded that voice note to my friend, my Lucy, and I forwarded that voice note to my friend Dondi because I was like, maybe I'm losing my head. Maybe kandalami angizwa kahle. Maybe ngiyahlanya. Maybe English is not my mother tongue anymore. So I reach out to friends. So I have very awesome friends that when I feel like I'm losing my shit or when I don't understand something, I reach out to my friends. My Lucy, Andile, Dondi are like the first few people that I'll reach out to because that's like my little circle that I can tell things to and trust that it's not going to go anywhere, right? So I get on a call no my Lucy, I get on a call no Dondi. I'm like, listen to this. What's going on now? Right? Sharp, not a problem. She says, TV is so new to us. We are so sorry. This was an oversight. We completely forgot in contract yako. Uguti, you didn't give us permission to put you on TV. We are so sorry, Dominic. We are very, very sorry, Siakolis. I'm like, hey, boo. I know I'm not born yesterday, and I know I'm not stupid. Before you guys could even submit this to Channel, you'll needed to show Channel a contract to say that I signed a contract agreeing to the rights, agreeing to me being on TV. So what did y'all show Channel? My brain starts working. My brain starts ticking. I ask myself, there's only one of two scenarios that happened here. Either Channel and Lasizwe and his team completely disregarded my contract altogether and the process was not followed and I just ended up on TV. Or number two, there is a contract that they presented to MultiChoice and Channel and production and everyone, but it's not the contract that I signed. It's another contract. Because I can tell you something, you will not end up on TV without a release form. Because that means you can sue for millions. Anyone that works with contracts, anyone that works on TV, anyone that has ever been on TV will tell you. So it's either one, they completely ignored the process and they just did whatever they wanted to do, which doesn't sound like it's something they do. Or number two, they did give them a contract, but it's not the contract I signed. They handed them a contract to say, yes, Dominic is okay with being on TV, but it's not the contract. Do you hear what I'm saying? Are you hearing what I'm saying? Sharp, alleged, I'm thinking. Because why else am I on TV if they didn't give the contract? So I then said to Lasizwe's PA, Yazi ngiyakuzwa babes, and I understand you, but I don't care. You guys violated a verbal and written contract, and you guys saw it fit to make me your premiering episode, which means you guys saw fit when you sat with MultiChoice and Zanzi Magic and all the execs and all the directors and producers. You all felt Dominic's episode is so strong that it must be your first episode, right? My episode was so good that you all felt it must be my first episode. It must be your guys' premiering episode, your pilot episode. It was so good, but it wasn't good enough for you to pay me. So I want to know, how are you planning on resolving this? She responds, Dominic, the production company that is involved is going to contact you with compensation. This was 3 weeks ago. I'm like, okay, I'll wait. A few days later, I reach out to her again. I'm like, babes, no one has contacted me with anything. Because she said on that day, I'm going to get a phone call or an email. She asked for my email. I give her my email, whatever. A couple of days, a day or two later, I'm like, babes, no one has contacted me. No one has said anything to me. No one has reached out to me in any capacity with regards to this. Are you guys still planning on resolving, or are you guys now ignoring me? She goes, I'm going to follow up. A week goes by. I decide I'm going to send Lasizwe an email directly, right? I'm assuming he responds to his emails himself, or maybe someone else does. I don't know. So a week later, it's now going on week number 2.5, basically. I send Lasizwe an email. I'm like, hey, I'm really hurt by the fact that you decided to not respect our contract, not listen to me, not say anything, and decide that you're going to put me on TV. You made money out of me. You made money out of my name. You made money out of my voice. You made money out of my face. You made money out of my image. You made a shocking amount of money. Guys, you don't understand how much money you make when you sell a product to television. I don't think you guys understand the amount of money that was made with my name. Everyone involved in that process made money. And I'm not talking about thousands of rands. I'm not talking about 10,000 rand. I'm not talking about 20,000 rand. I'm talking about money. I'm talking about money. I'm talking about those people probably went and are able to afford cars with my name. Let's not count ad revenue. Let's not count ad revenue. Every advert that was placed when my episode was playing was also money. On average, an advert on TV that costs about 30 seconds, it starts from R1 million. So let's say Telkom put an advert while my episode was playing. That's 1 million rand that went in. There's about 4 adverts that play during an episode of something. So let's say 4 million rand minimum was made with my name. Minimum. Let's forget the adverts that are going to play on catch up, because this thing is now also on catch up. Forget the adverts that are playing on catch up. Forget the adverts that are playing on catch up, that every time you go and watch an episode on catch up, there's adverts there. Forget about those ones. Just focus on the ones when the show was playing. Minimum that was made, I'm telling you, I'm not asking, minimum that was made using my name, 4 million. Leave the production costs that they went and claimed. Leave all of those other monies that were made. Leave those monies. So I reach out to Lasizwe. I sent him an email. He doesn't respond. The production company responds to me like, hey, we've seen your email from Lasizwe. I'm assuming we are going to do an internal investigation and get back to you. I read that email and I'm like, internal investigation for what? But I'm like, hey, let me give them a few days. A week goes by. I send them another email. Hi. You guys have not gotten back to me. You guys have not said anything. You guys have not acknowledged anything beyond that. And I don't understand what the internal investigation is for, right? There's a contract. There's a verbal agreement. Lasizwe's PA acknowledges my agreement. You told Lasizwe's PA you are going to compensate me. So what are you now investigating? Because you already agreed that you're going to settle. So what are we now investigating? What's the investigation for? And then I write in the email, I'm like, this seems like a tactic where you guys want me to go quiet. Where you guys want me to go quiet and think that I'm going to disappear and not say anything. I'm not that person, right? Sharp. I sent them another email yesterday. This time, the production company and Lasizwe, right? I sent them an email. I once again ask, guys, is this being resolved? Because I think I've been very nice. I've tried to resolve it privately. I've not said anything publicly. I've kept quiet. And I don't understand why I'm being ignored. Everyone has made money out of my name. And I put this on email because I'm not lying and I'm not making up a story. Y'all all made money while breaching my contract, while not listening to me, as if as if I don't want to live in a fancy house, as if I don't want to buy a car. Y'all all made money using my name. So why am I now being ignored when you breached a contract, both verbal and written? I write on my stories on Instagram thinking, okay, maybe Lasizwe akayiboni email yakhe. I tag him. He sees it. Doesn't respond to me. So I have gone from the person that they needed to use to make all the money that they made to milk as much as they wanted to milk, to being completely ignored. Lasizwe is completely ignoring me. The production company is completely ignoring me. Everyone is completely ignoring my emails. Everyone is ignoring me. The PA is ignoring me. Lasizwe is ignoring me. The production company is ignoring me. His production company, his own production company is ignoring me. They've all made their millions of monies and their hundreds and thousands of rands and whatnot. And I didn't want to get my lawyer involved in the initial point because I just felt like maybe there's a misunderstanding. Let's resolve this via email and quickly, address it, right? But no. So when I put the story out on Instagram and I was like, Lasizwe, speak to your people, I want my money. I mean, I'm figuring goal to be extorted or whatever by you, ne? I'm to work and feed my family. I have the copy of the contract, yes. And you know what's crazy? Something in my head was like, ask them to send you your contract so they don't say it's fraud. They forwarded me the exact copy of the contract I signed with the amendment. So they are aware, and they also acknowledged the mistake on WhatsApp voice note and on text. So in terms of me being in the right, my babes, I am in the right in such a way that you'll never understand. So anyway, and also thanks to my friend Rotondo. Rotondo is always pushing me to think 10 steps ahead of anyone, right? Anyway, so I'm being ignored. Lasizwe is ignoring me. Everyone, he's living his best young life with all the money he made using my name. And I'm angry, but I've been so sick that I just couldn't be angry enough. And now that I feel a little bit better, I'm really angry at the fact that he was able to use my name, breach our contract, and make all of his money and feel as if, he owns me. Lasizwe doesn't own enough. And now that I feel a little bit better, I'm really angry at the
Dominic Zaka exposing Lasizwe. So Dominic uti she's quite fed up with Lasizwe and a production company yake because these people have been using her name, her face in making money for themselves, and in the midst of everything, she has not received a single cent, no compensation or whatsoever. So she also explains that she has been trying her utmost best in reaching out to Lasizwe, and none of them are just coming through. Yashoguti, I've went through my stages privately so before coming here to expose Lasizwe, but they're not just saying anything, they are just ignoring her as though slimang in this whole process we are exploit her. So for the mere fact that Dominic mentions Ilgama le contract, whatever operation or whatever hustle be by Pusha, it is legally bound, and Lasizwe alongside with his production company have breached that contract. Hence, Dominic has every right to go after Lasizwe legally so. And then from the little knowledge that I have, for example, actors. I know my actors are often paid per day or per episode. So for the mere fact ukuthi leyo muntu uvele TV uyabhadalwa phela ukuthi uvelile le ngumabona ukuthi sambuka. So nasisita tukoma reality shows, it's a bit different because my reality shows, for example, we have different payment structures than scripted dramas, news shows. So that differs based on whatever it is labavumelane ngako ngaleso sikhathi leso. But crux of the matter is that Dominic uthi Lasizwe umshaye 10-0 umrobha imali yakhe ene uthi yena imali yakhe uyayifuna. So knowing Dominic, she's going to make sure ukuthi le ulwa nayo athole lokhu lafuna kona. Kindly remember to subscribe to Ulwazi Nezindaba.